Hello, beautiful creative people. Kyla Givehand here. Welcome back to my channel. I am really excited to be making this video because it's been a while since I made a video and posted to YouTube. But I want to say a huge thank you for all of you who are new to my channel, finding me, still subscribing, watching my old videos, and showing me lots of love, sending me lots of messages and emails, and telling me how my videos and my creative journey have helped you. That is what keeps me going, and that is absolutely what is bringing me back to this channel for 2019. So I just wanted to say a big hello. It's been a while since you guys have seen me. You should be able to tell by the hair, right? I've not cut my hair in about a year and a half, give or take. And so that should be an indication of how long it's been since I have been on YouTube. The last video I probably shared, my hair was really, really short. So that's a great indication. But this has been the kind of year where I needed to just let go of like worrying about what to do with this hair and just let it be, see what it does on its own. And that's been interesting, but that's not this kind of video. That's not this channel. What I want to say is I always pick a word of the year. And I have been struggling this year, 2018, to figure out what my word was going to be. I got to, I don't know, about early December, and I was like, oh, I've got it. I know what the word is. And I had come up with the word expand. And I thought, yes, that is my word. I'm expanding. I'm expanding my business. I'm expanding my reach. All these things that I was going to expand. But I didn't announce it. I didn't even really commit to it in any real way. I could feel that something wasn't quite right about it. It was like, is it a a word that I need a different word for? Is this the right word? So with that said, I started just kind of watching videos on YouTube, not even about word of the year, nothing about word of the year, but watching videos because usually in the November, December time, 52 days leading up to my birthday, which is my 7th cycle. And if you're not familiar with that, I'll leave a link below where you can get more information about what I mean by the 7th cycle. But in short, it's a time 52 days before your birthday when you should be like relaxing and sort of taking it easy and lingering in bed and, having lots of me days and self-care time. It's not really a time to be like starting really big new things, but I clearly I don't listen to that because I did start something new that I'll talk about in another video, another time. But in that 7th cycle, I like to binge watch YouTube videos and Netflix videos and Hulu. I don't have a TV, so I use those things as a form of staying connected, I guess, to what's happening out in the world, pop culture, that kind of stuff. So I watch videos on YouTube, and I came across a video from a woman who calls herself the Story Witch on YouTube. I don't know how she came up, but she did. And I started listening to this video where she was talking about something called a depth year. DEPTH, depth year. She gave a link to an article, which I will provide below. I'll also give you her link below. And I read that article, and every fiber of my being stood up and said, yes, a resounding yes. Because for 45 years, I have been living a life that is very wide. Learning new things, acquiring new skills, lots of new projects, always starting something new, always buying and consuming new things. That has been my entire life. I've been living a year where I'm constantly widening. And a depth year is about going deep instead of going wide. And when I read that, the bells went off. And I was like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing in 2019. Now, I've got some other news that I'll share, like I said, in a different video, some other things that are happening in my personal and creative life that are going to feel very expansive, I'm sure, that started in 20 or rooted in 20, or they started a long time ago in terms of like me manifesting what I want to bring forth in the world. But they came to fruition in 2018. And so in 2019, I will be using those things to go deeper, deeper into my life. And when you read that article, it may or may not resonate with you. All right. It spoke to me so loudly, so strongly, so profoundly. There's no question in my mind that it's right for me. Now, the author has their own way of defining what a depth year is. And a lot of it I agree with, and a lot of it I will be subscribing to. But there's some of it that doesn't quite work for me and what I want in terms of a depth year. And so I've, rearranged it for me or redefined it for myself, because it has to feel right in order for me to commit to it, in order for it to feel like me. The parts of it that resonated with me are the parts I'm keeping. And the parts that I was like, okay, I see how that could work for some people, but it's not quite right for me. Those are the parts I'll be kind of leaving behind. And I really am excited about this idea of getting to go deeper into the things that I already know how to do, I already love. I don't need to pick up a new hobby. I'm a bookbinder. I love bookbinding. And I haven't really been able to go deep with it since 2013 when I did Book in a Day. Lots of Book in a Day videos here, 52 of them for 2013, 12 of them for 2014. I'll link you to those below, to the playlist for those. But that was a year of me going deep with my bookbinding. But even then, it wasn't really deepening. It was, in a lot of ways, me widening my understanding and appreciation for book art. I did 52 different books. So imagine that, right? 52 different, that's a widening. And so I want to go deep with book art. I want to sit and I want to study a structure. I want to master certain structures. And I already have two in my mind that are the structures I'm really going to spend a lot of time with this year, recreating in a lot of different ways and just really getting to know those books and those structures. Now, I'll make other books, obviously, because I'm a bookbinder and that's what I do. But there are some structures that I think are worth spending some time with, looking at the history of them. Where did they show up first um, in our society, and how were they originally used, and what was their original intent? And how can I bring some of that into 2019 with me while also cultivating, a deeper relationship with not only the book structure and the idea of a blank book, but the content that I put inside of it. So I'm really excited that I get to deepen my connection to some of the things, the hobbies that I love, bookbinding, art journaling, um, journaling in general, the things that really bring me a lot of joy and a lot of peace in my life, really deepening my connection to those things. The things that I've been learning and really fascinated by, but only skimming the surface on, like astrology and numerology, and um, learning things about my family genealogy, all the ologies out there. But really getting to go deeper into those things instead of trying to widen my experience with them, but to take what I already have and have already been building on and go deeper with those things. That excites me. And then connecting those things. How does astrology connect to bookbinding? How does numerology connect to astrology? How does pulling oracle cards and tarot cards for my journaling and as inspiration for writing and journaling, how does that connect to bookbinding, and how does that connect to astrology? Like, how do all these things connect? Um, you can only discover that by going deeper with these things. And so I'm really excited about that. I don't need to buy another book on astrology or oracle cards or tarot cards or bookbinding. I don't need to consume another thing from outside. I have a library of books on these things. I have a library of videos, links, and things that I have been saying, oh, save this, go read this later, that I never get to because there's always some new thing showing up that makes that other thing get put on the back burner. So for me, this depth year is about reconnecting, and connecting to, in a deeper way, the things that I already have acquired, because I have acquired lots of things. And when we talk about things, like some of you know me here for fountain pens and um, bookbinding, obviously making handmade journals. You know how many blank handmade journals I have? I don't need to buy another journal. I really don't. I have so many handmade journals that are blank and sitting and waiting. They were obviously being made for this depth year. And I can already think of the ones that I want to pull out and use and show a lot of love to, and really, again, reconnect to things that I've made and put aside because I need it to make the next thing or teach the next class or do that, right? So, I mean, it goes from everything from my fountain pens. I collect fountain pens and I love them. And I probably won't stop collecting fountain pens, but I am going to really put some parameters and some restrictions around the purchasing of fountain pens for 2019. Limited editions only, things that come around one time, right? I'm a huge, huge, huge lover of Franklin Christoph fountain pens. And they have ones that are in their constant stock of rotation. And then they have the ones that are like, get it now or never get it again. And that feels more purposeful as opposed to, oh, I'm just going to buy the ones that they always have out, right? So, really thinking about and being more conscious and mindful about not even from a financial standpoint, but just from a standpoint of, are you using these fountain pens? How often are you using them, right? So, that brings me to reconnecting to my love of fountain pens, paper, and journaling, and using it as a practice for slowing down in my life, which is what fountain pens make me do, and which is why I love them so dearly. So I'm really looking at all the things that I already have spinning and circling around me that I love, that I have curiosities about. I don't need to go buy new things to explore them deeper, to have a deeper relationship with them. And so that is really what I am excited about for my 2019 depth year. Now, in terms of my word for the year, I started out with that idea of expand and it didn't feel right. And then I came upon the depth year and I realized that's why expand wasn't feeling right for me, is because I don't need an expand year. I need a depth year. And some of you out there right now, you need a width. You need a year where you widen, a width year, right? You need to be able, you need to take some time to widen your horizons, broaden your horizons, widen, you know what I mean. You need to go more places, do more things, consume more books, read more books, do more, right? You need to do that. That may be where you are in your life. But I need to reread some books that I haven't read in a really long time that changed my life, shaped me at that time, because maybe there's something in there for me now and I can go deeper now that I have gotten older and wiser and grown more and experienced more and lived more. Maybe there's something in there that I need to rediscover and reconnect to. So looking forward to pulling those out and doing that. I think the other piece, so my word of the year is reconnect, because I feel like this deepening is going to allow me to reconnect, and not just to the things that I own and the hobbies, but to the people in my life who I love and adore and sometimes get ignored because they send me text messages and I don't have time for that because I'm doing this other thing and that thing and this thing. And so I want to reconnect to the people, and not just in my local proximity. I have a whole online community of people who are also making books and making art and on a creative journey and building businesses that they love and trying to figure out this thing we call life, um, in a beautiful human way. And I want to reconnect to those people, people who have mailed me letters. I have a whole stack of letters over here, little cards that people have sent me. 2018 was a year of a lot of death in my family and my inner circle of friends, 15 to be exact. And so I got a lot of cards and postcards and emails from people that I just haven't had a chance and opportunity or time to respond to, but I will in 2019 because I want to reconnect. And again, it goes back to connecting the things I love, analog living and writing and journaling and sending letters. Oh my gosh, I love doing that. I haven't done that in so long. So pulling out my fountain pens and the paper that I love and have collected and writing people actual letters. in response to the beautiful postcards and notes and cards and emails that they have sent me. So again, all of these things finding their way back to connect just feels so right and so good for me this year. And so I don't know what you're doing for your 2019 and whether you're taking a depth year, if you've even heard of a depth year. Maybe you've done a depth year without knowing it and calling it that thing. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below. Tell me about your depth year, your experience. If it's something you're doing this year, I'd love to hear that as well. I will link you also to the blog post that I've written to accompany this video, where I talk about my not only my depth year, but how I plan to actually execute my depth year starting out in 2019. So, I mean, I have tons of classes and things that I have signed up for and maybe looked at one video and then didn't look at it again that I'm going to go back through. I'm teaching in a lot of programs, so I won't be buying any new online courses in 2019. Well, again, the caveats, right? um, but my goal, my hope is my plan is to try to go deeper into the courses that I've already signed up for and have access to, lifetime access to classes that, that I took and saved all the videos, but never went back and watched them. And so this will be a part of my depth year, me really trying to go deeper into the things that I love, and trying not to necessarily acquire new things to fall in love with, but to fall in love again with the things that I already have and love. So I'm curious to hear what your word of the year is, what you, if you've done a depth year before, if you're doing a depth year in 2019. Yeah, just to get your thoughts on the concept in general. It's not going to change my mind. This is what I'm doing. But I love to hear what other people are doing to become better humans in the world. And this 2019 is me taking one more step closer to becoming a better human. So I look forward to spending time with you guys on this channel. I will share here often. I'm sure this year will be lots more videos on some bookbinding stuff, some tutorials here and there. I'll continue to share with you my my depth year progress and all the things that are syncing and clicking and resonating as I take this journey. Obviously, I'll be sharing, my love for all things, some fountain pen stuff, some journals, some new stuff that I have been waiting to share with you. And I'm just giving you a little sneak peek. Some of you I know look at these and like, oh, I know what that is. So yes, I will be sharing all the things that I love that I have gotten away from sharing on this channel, things that I think a lot of you subscribe to hear more about and to journey with me, in that progression of things. So I look forward to sharing that here with you. I hope you'll stick around for that. If you're new to the channel, if you're just finding me for the first time, again, my name is Kiala Givehand. I am a bookbinder, a poet, a writer, an artist, a journaler. I do a lot of things in the world. I'm also a life and business strategist. I do a lot of things and I have a lot of skills, and I will be sharing them here with you. And I hope that you'll stick around, join me, sign up, subscribe right now if you are watching this for the first time and meeting me for the first time. I look forward to getting to know you, to deepening my connection here with my folks on YouTube as well. And I'm looking forward to my depth year. I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Have an amazing start to 2019. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye.